We'll be talking about diminished chords on the piano. I'm going to talk about different types of diminished chords, but I'll major on the actual normal diminished chord. Now, what is a diminished chord? Using the key of C, a diminished chord is a chord that when you flatten or you lower your third and your fifth notes. Okay, what I mean by that is this is our major triad. When I lower the third, that is my E and my G, which is my fifth now, third and fifth. When I lower them, I just formed a diminished chord. So it's going to sound like this. So this is called C half diminished. It's called a half diminished because it's not complete. Now we to have a complete diminished chord, the formula is whole half, and whole half. What that means is when I'm holding my notes, I'm going to count the whole notes, then hold the half note after the whole note. Do the same thing here, do the same thing here. So this is the normal diminished chord on key C. One funny thing about this diminished chord is that this diminished chord is not just the diminished chord for C alone. It's still the same diminished chord for E flat. Now if I'm on E flat, I'll just hold my diminished chord like this. The only difference is that I'm starting the movement from, instead of C, I'm starting from E flat, but I'm playing the same notes, and it's still the same diminished chord for key F sharp, and it's going to sound like this. And now I'm starting from F sharp, and it's still the same diminished chord for key A. It's going to sound like this. So it's like this. Okay. Now I'm going to teach us how to form to substitute diminished chords like this one on C. How to substitute it on your other chords. Let's assume you're going to play Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, and you want to use diminished pattern to play those chord lines. You can just I'll teach us how we can form them and substitute them. Now there's a technique I use in getting diminished chords when playing. One thing about diminished chord is it's good when you're playing it in a stepwise movement. Stepwise means I'm going from Do, Re, Mi, Fa, so it's like I'm going up, or I'm coming back, Fa, Mi, Re. So this is a stepwise movement. Okay, now if I'm on C now on Do, I want to play my Do, Re, Mi. Okay, now I want to turn the one of these chords into a diminished chord. Let's say I want to turn the Re into a diminished chord. All I just have to do is there's a note. The note after my Re or after my D is my E flat. So I'll form my diminished chord using my E flat. So instead of playing it like this, it's going to sound like this. Okay, I go again. Now you see I'm playing my E flat diminished chord in place of my D minor chord. So it's instead of, it's going to look like this. Okay, now let's say I want to extend it to my Fa, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. So it's going to look like this. Now I'll go again. Okay, now you see. I'm sorry. Now I've made diminished chord, substituted my minor D minor as a diminished chord, and my E minor too as well as a diminished chord. Instead of playing, I'm playing. Okay, but my left hand plays the root or the actual chord or notes. Look at my left hand is playing the same thing. Okay, but my right hand is the one playing the diminished substitution. Okay, now let's assume we want to extend it to Sol. It's going to look like this. Okay, I'll go again. only major chord here is my do and my so, but my re, mi, fa, they are all diminished chords, so they sound like this. Go slowly again. Okay, now let's assume I want to extend it to my la. Okay, I'm still going to add my diminished, form a diminished chord instead of in place of my saw, so it's going to sound like this. I'll go again. So you see, I had to use diminished chords in stepwise movement. Last time. Okay. If I want to add it to my T, okay, I'll just go like this. Okay. Instead of play my La, I play this one. And then I go to my T. Okay, now it's going to look like this again. See, they sound very, very almost alike. Let me go again. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Okay, now let's complete it to do. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, let me go again. I made a mistake. Let me go again. How to use diminished chord on in place as a substituted chord instead of playing your normal major or minor chords. So you have to have the understanding of how to play diminished chords before you learn how to use tritone, because tritone is just a byproduct of diminished chords and dominant 7 chords. So now having the idea of what diminished chords are, this is normal diminished, this is half diminished, this is diminished major dominant 7, and this is diminished 7s or major 7s. Okay, but the normal one is the one we're talking about now. Yeah, at times I used to do this exercise with the diminished chords. Okay, so that's just it for diminished chord. On C sharp, it's going to look like this.